I'm Andrew, and today I'm going to try to save you a buck with a tale of two cables. Now, in my right hand is a Thunderbolt 4 cable. These are Intel certified, incredibly good cables that are guaranteed to give you the full 40 gigabit per second dual 4K monitor output goodness of, well, Thunderbolt 4. Problem, this thing costs $70. Solution, don't buy it. Instead, get yourself one of these. This is a USB 4 cable, which is perfectly capable of all those things, it's just technically not certified according to Intel standards. Now, before you just run off and go ahead and buy all the USB 4 cables on Amazon, Walmart, and everywhere, let me explain something here. So, Thunderbolt 4 is technically a different standard than USB 4, and it's proprietary to Intel. USB 4 covers basically all the same things, but it is under the USB Forum and is certified by them. So they have a little bit flakier standards. You have to be careful because a USB 4 cable might have 40 gigabits per second and 240 watts of charging and all those other good things, but it also might not, and you have to check and make sure. So what I did is I went to Amazon and bought one from Cable Matters. Now, from my little bit of research, these guys are usually pretty good, and we're about to find out because I'm going to hook it into my Thunderbolt 4 dock, connected to my ROG Zephyrus G14, and see if it works. If it works, cool. If not, well, this is getting returned, and I'm scrapping this video. So, with the cable out of the box, and just to prove that I'm not doing anything weird here, see here, 40 gigabit per second, USB 4. It looks like a pretty premium cable. It's got a nice silicone jacket, and it just looks like a regular USB-C cable, but in theory, this thing is capable of the 40 gigabits per second, over 6.6 feet. That's what you need to check for. And to be clear, this thing was about $30 on Amazon. Now for today's demonstration, we're going to be using the following. A 1080p 144 Hz monitor, a random Scepter monitor I've got kicking around that I think is like 720p, keyboard, there'll be a mouse over here in a bit, and this USB 4 dock. Nothing crazy to write home about, just a random Amazon one, but we're going to try to get 144 Hz working at 1080p with gigabit per second Ethernet as well. To be clear, I'm fully aware that we aren't pushing the USB 4 standard to its limits, but that's kind of the point. I mean, realistically, if you at home are wanting to have a full 8K editing experience and dual 4K monitors, all that, that's great. But by the time you're spending that much on a monitor, a $70 cable, who cares? Just buy the thing. You already spent like $2,000 on your monitor. It's almost nothing as a percentage. But if you're just like, you know, a college student like me, and you just want an easy way to dock your laptop to your older monitors and get them to work, save some money. All right, I've got my laptop down here. As you can see, it is a ROG. It is a Zephyrus G14. This is one of the 4070 Max-Q and the Ryzen 9 7940HS. Part of the point of this is my laptop doesn't actually technically support Thunderbolt 4. It's USB 4, but it can still power a 40 gigabit per second connection. It's just technically not Intel, so it's technically not Thunderbolt 4. All right, so off camera, I got the cable routed in right here. So that's going into the input port on this. Sorry about the spaghetti mess, by the way. I'm waiting to tighten this up until everything's working. And up here, I have the other side that'll plug into the computer, and specifically this port right here on the left-hand side of the laptop, that's my 40 gigabit per second USB 4 port. As soon as I power everything up, I'm gonna power it up, make sure it's working, and then show you all of it in action. All right, so I got Windows open now. As you can see here, we got the ROG Zephyrus G14, the Ryzen 9 7940HS, and all the monitors are lit up off that one cable. Now, it looks ridiculous right now because I haven't dialed in the display settings, but as soon as I do that, it should be perfect. So after a little bit of debugging, I've got it working flawlessly. I've got my main monitor on my laptop over here, my 1080p panel in the middle, which if we clicked Advanced Display is right at 144 Hertz. See that right there? And I got my side monitor over here, which is the amazing 900x1600 at an amazing refresh rate of, 75 Hertz. Infinite cosmic refresh rate. Alright, so time for that internet test I promised you. I've blurred out my IP for obvious reasons, but if I hit go, you can see here that we're clocking a cool 800 and 900 megabits per second down, which is right what you'd expect for a gigabit internet connection. So it clearly works. Now, if we were running like, I don't know, some obscene network connection, then maybe your like dock connection might matter a little. But newsflash, 40 gigabits per second is a lot more than a 1 gigabit per second. So there you have it. You don't need to buy the fancy cable if you aren't doing crazy fancy things. Just get a regular USB 4 one. I'd recommend Cable Matters. That's the brand I got. I've had good experience with them in the past, but theoretically any of them will work. Just make sure you check the reviews and, you know, be prepared to maybe have to return a couple if they don't work. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please feel free to hit like, get subscribed. I'm going to be doing more stuff like this where I try to save a buck because I just move through the world and, you know, do cool tech stuff.